my biggest fight I ever got into, the biggest tournaments I ever got to, fighting Sergey Kovalev for 3 major world championships.
Hello, HTV and boxing fans. We are privileged to have in our midst today a former WBC International light heavyweight champion, a WBO Africa light heavyweight champion, an IBO World Super Middleweight champion, and an ABU Super Middleweight champion, and also a former contender for the WBC, IBF, and WBO World Light Heavyweight titles. As you can tell, the list goes on, and we are excited to host this boxer. You don't want to miss this interview. This is Talking Boxing. All right, welcome back. So in this interview, we will talk a bit about the background of this boxer, where his career has been, where it is going, what to expect from him in the near future. Of course, he has a fight coming up, and we will talk about that as well, all the details about the fight. And also, without much ado, our guest today is Isaac Chilemba. Isaac is a Malawian boxer who is based in South Africa, where he has been for several years for his boxing career. Isaac, welcome to HTV.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
All right. Now, based on your resume, Isaac, you should be a household name and a well-known boxer around the world. But there may be boxing fans who do not know who Isaac Chilemba is. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you got into boxing, and some of the doors that you think the sport has opened for you?
Yeah, I was born in Malawi, Africa, Blantyre, Malawi. Raised and grew up there, and began boxing at the age of 13. That was in 2001. And in 2015, my mother was half South African, half Malawian, so I do have other family members here in South Africa. So at the age of 17, I came to South Africa and decided to pursue my career as a boxer. Then I turned professional in 2005. At the age of 18, I became a professional fighter. And yeah, been boxing ever since. And now I'm here. I don't know. I can introduce me.
I think you did wonderful with that. Any person who do not know who Isaac is knows a little bit about you. Now, I want us to go to some of your achievements. When I was doing more research on you, most pictures I saw of you had you with title belts. You are very well accomplished, especially for an African boxer. How did you do it? How did you do it?
You know, as Mayweather always said, it's hard work and dedication, and I think it all plays out. If you work hard and you've got a goal and work hard on it, keep learning each and every day. That is the most important and the key to success. And I really wanted to be one of the great fighters coming of Africa, and I did the best I can to get to the point where I got. So yeah, in a way, I managed to attain about 8 titles. One of them, the major, being the IBO World title, and some of them international, All African title, and North American title. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I managed to do all that in my career.
That is wonderful. I mean, as you are listing the names, I'm like, wow. Now, which of your bouts is the most memorable and why?
The most memorable fight for me was when I fought Dodon Gobu from Congo, but based in France. Mm-hmm. That I would say was the most memorable fight, because it was one of the major fights I ever got into in my career. That was my first major fight I got into. The guy was 19 and all, undefeated, and he was knocking out all his opponents. And at that time, I only had 13 fights, 12 wins and a single draw. I mean, a single loss. So in my head, I wasn't so sure. To be quite honest, I wasn't so sure if I was ready to face up such a big challenge, fighting someone who's been there fighting out of France, and he looked very dangerous to me at the time. But all I had to do is to stick to my plan of being one of the best and toughen up and get in the ring against him, and I managed to defeat him. So that always plays in my head as one of the major fights, because I know what emotions, what feelings I went through towards that fight. Thereafter, yes, I've been in some major fights, like one of them being unification for
I'm coming right there.
Titles. Yeah.
I'm coming right there. Maybe that's what you are going to talk about. But it appears one of the most important fights when boxing fans and boxing enthusiasts look at your resume. One of the most important fights, which would have probably, I felt, elevated you onto the boxing map forever, was your July 2016 fight with Russian Sergey Kovalev for the WBC IBO World Light Heavyweight title. Now, what happened in that fight? And does it always haunt you that you lost?
I truly believe if we fought anywhere else than Russia, the decision could have been different. Even though it was a close fight, and I gave to Kovalev because he was a champion. So, you know, every time if you were a champion, you got, you know, one step ahead on the score points. So yeah, that was talking on a records, boxing records. That was my biggest fight I ever got into, the biggest tournaments I ever got to, fighting Sergey Kovalev for 3 major world championships.
Yeah. So this is something that we will talk about at the end pretty soon, because sometimes I feel like boxers, especially in Africa, they think if you have the talent and you work hard, you are always going to go up there. But you make a point of how being home, Kovalev had the advantage. And this is some of the things sometimes we don't think about, that regardless of how hard you fight, how good of a talent you are, sometimes decisions go against you for other reasons. Now, I'm going to ask you a few other questions. I chanced upon your upcoming bout with Osles Iglesias on May 27th in Poland. Iglesias is 5-0, so obviously he's trying to make a statement in his weight class. How do you see the fight, and what do you expect the outcome to be? And then, what would this fight mean for your career?
First of all, as you mentioned about his record and where is he at, if it was justified, I wouldn't get in a fight against a young amateur fighter, opponent at my stage, because as you know, I've been there, did a lot, and fighting someone with only 5 professional fights. I don't care about his amateur record. I don't care if he's ex-Olympian or 2-3-time Olympian, but he's
I didn't even know all that. That is impressive, Olympian.
Yeah, so yes, he's young, and he's only got 5 professional fights. I wouldn't have done that, but there's something that got me to accept the fight, is the championships that are on the line. So now we're fighting for 2 championships. I understand they're not world titles, IBO Intercontinental and WBA Intercontinental. So those are good enough for me, big enough for me to step in the ring against youngster with only 5 pro fights.
Should we assume experience is going to win at the end of the day? I mean, you've been there, you've fought bigger title fights, And so I be another two titles. That is right in your alley.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, experience is something that no one can buy and no one can take away from anybody. Once you've got that experience, you'll always be with you. So yeah, I'm experienced enough. I've been in there, in and out. I've been to hell and back, I could say. I've been in a deep end and I managed to swim myself up back to the shallow end. And he doesn't know all of that yet because he's still a youngster when it comes to professional boxing. So we'll see what he's got, how strong, and I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking mentally, how strong he is, how good he is. When I take him to the deep end, how he's going to manage to swim and get himself out of that. That we'll see on the 27th.
All right. I'm going to be honest with you. I have seen only a few of your fights. So personally, I would want to see this. I just, again, I was in the boxing group and I saw that you had this coming. So I want to see it. For those of us who want to watch you live, the fight is in Poland. How can we watch?
Yes.
Do you have any details now? If you don't have any, okay, go ahead.
No, for now, I don't have details there, but I know, and we've been promised that there'll be online link. But I think that will get once we get into Poland.
Please make sure your team shares it with me, and then I will make sure that I send it out there for the boxing world to watch also.
I will definitely. I will share it with you myself. I will send you the link once we get it.
And I know you are traveling to Poland tomorrow, so I'm not going to waste your time. Finally, I just want you to advise upcoming African boxers, but not just only boxers, because boxing is not just made up of boxers, managers and promoters. Because looking at your journey and accomplishments, you should be up there, but we are not hearing much of you. Can you tell us why and then advise the stakeholders in Africa?
The most important when it comes to fighters, the most important is stay humble, keep learning each and every day, take advice from anybody, try it out, whatever advice they give you, try it out. If it doesn't suit you, if it doesn't work for you, throw it away. But don't think you might be 25, you might have 20 fights undefeated and think you know better. There's no such thing in boxing. Boxing is very brutal sport, and there's a lot of guys that cover. That's why we've got trainers and we've got sparring partners that helps you to advance your knowledge when it comes to fighting. So keep learning each and every day. Adapt is very important, and stay humble. And be like a dog with a bone. Like you know your goal, what you want to achieve in a boxing, in this sport. Stick to it. Don't let anything aside to distract you. Keep your heads up and keep moving. That's when it comes to boxing. That's the advice I can give. Now, promoters, managers. I mean, for most of the for promoters, it's business. For them, they wanna make good fights and get what they can out of it. And yes, I've met promoters who they really care about their fighters, but there's some they don't really care as long as the fighter brings something to their table. So I don't know much what I can say about them. If they can show more love or more care to the fighters, because you have to know that these fighters, they're out there fighting for their life, fighting with everything they've got. And if you just treat them like a machine or any other tool, it's not good at all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. We wish you all the best on May 27th. We want to see you rise again with these two titles. And thanks HTV and boxing fans for watching. Please subscribe, follow, and share. Also, make sure you leave comments about this interview. We want to broadcast Isaac everywhere. He's been there. He's won several championships. He's doing a lot for Africa, and we want to make sure that the whole of Africa hears about him. So please make sure you share. This is Talking